Everyone, hello and a warm welcome to you all. Namaste. It is lovely to see you here. Hey Taurians, this is your reading for September 2017. 3 decks from the cards on the side over here for the month, 12 cards in all. So there is a little bit of extended shuffling work involved, so it kind of gives you a few moments to sit back and relax and hear what messages are going to be coming your way. So just before we deal the cards, I had a few words in mind before I started this for you guys, and it is books, writing, publishing and teaching. So I wonder what those words mean to some of you. So let's see what's going on here for Taurus for September 2017. Your first card is the Ten of Swords. Your next card is the Seven of Wands. Your next card is the Two of Pentacles. And your next card is the Seven of Swords. Now we will use the John Holland deck. Remember too that we have just had the really big eclipse in August on the 21st, and it traversed across the land of the United States of America from coast to coast. It will have affected a lot of people in a lot of ways because of course America is very heavily populated. So where the eclipse traverses, it has often the strongest effect. It hasn't had that particular pathway for 127 years. So let me just see what the next cards are for you guys. Patience, balance, intuition and authority, and that is 4 major arcanas in a row. So yes, this second row here is a really big one, and it's interesting, I've seen this a couple of times for this month come out for other signs, that this kind of middle row has this really strong determined energy connected to it. It just shows us the potency, I think, of the month of September and the energies lying behind it, and I know that a lot of that is tied into the energy of the eclipses for sure. So we'll just do these last cards for you guys and see what this has to say. These are oracle cards, a fairy oracle deck, and they're very pretty and they're really vibrant as well. They're a lovely deck to work with. For any of you out there contemplating buying cards or working with cards yourself, I highly recommend this deck. Autumn. Express your individuality. Admit your true feelings to yourself and get some exercise. That's blunt, isn't it? Okay, let's just have a look at what exactly is going on here. So we have all major arcanas in this row, and we have 2 swords up here, a pentacles and a wands. Number 14, the patience, is actually the temperance card. Number 11, balance, is the justice card. Number 2, intuition, is the high priestess, sorry. And number 4, the authority card, is the emperor. This whole row in here is what I call the serious, guts of the tarot deck. It's like it has a very distinctive flavour to it, and it has quite a strong message surging through it. It's about your strength and integrity and directions and goals and willpower and stealth. So you can also kind of see we've got some of that we're dealing with these 2 cards. They're not the most favoured of the deck, and they've come out in that top row. So I think as we work through this reading, their message is kind of going to be relevant to this energy through here about your integrity and your strength and your stealth and determination. Because of course as Taurians, the big strong grounded earth energy of the zodiac sign, you guys of all people can really pull upon your grounded strength and utilize it. If you come up with things in your life that are either an irksome issue, or they're worrying you, or that you're scared of, or you're not happy with, you can just utilize your brute power and force. So starting off on the very top left, and we do work down this way. So this is week 1 as such, week 2, week 3, week 4. There is fluidity within the reading, so the cards aren't necessarily set, structured to a weekly pattern. The energies will flow through the entire month. But that first card, the 10 of Swords, is often very foreboding in any deck, and it looks gloomy. It makes us feel kind of dejected, hurt, sad, feeling of loss. The number 10 is always about the endings of cycles and moving on into something new. So this card can turn up when you feel as though you've been literally stabbed in the back by someone, and this could be someone you trusted or you were close to, or a work colleague, or even a business or clients, or your bank manager, or anything. It's a feeling of deflation and loss. So I have seen this when people, especially younger people, I guess, feel very hurt by bullying, or friends that have let them down or lied to them, and kind of this is going on behind your back so you weren't aware of it. And oddly enough, you've got double the message in the reading, because this is almost the same type of energy. But remember this, that when these events occur, number 1, they needed to. Number 2, you don't need people like that in your life. You don't want them, you don't need them, and you shouldn't have them. Get them out, get them gone. If they're belittling you or not treating you the way you deserve to be, or if there's been abuse going on, then they're just darkening your days. They're just actually getting in underneath and making things negative, because some people do this. They're called like psychic vampires. They drain people's energies. They abuse you either physically or emotionally or even spiritually. And we do unfortunately come across people like this in our lives, and they're everywhere in society. So it does pay to be careful who you make alliances with, and who your friends are, and how you spend your time with and around people. But I think more importantly, this card tells us that this is the end of a saga. So there's been something going on in the background for a while that has reached this point. And this is now the doorway opening into the new, brighter energy. So when you see the card, you sort of say to yourself, oh God, it's more or less already happened. It's like 9/10 of the way through. So I don't have much further to go, and then I get up and I'm starting again. And that's the power within the card, and that's the way to look at it. Now, another very strong message I always get with this card is back issues, quite literally. And some of you could have really bad back pain, even leading down to your hips and your legs, and they may need work done on them, healing, or manipulation such as physiotherapy or chiropractic work. Some of you could be getting operations or treatments on discs or spines or your neck, anything. So it can be a physical implication in the card as well. But let's come down here to number 14, to the Patience card, which is the Temperance card. So this card is talking about balance as well in life. So the Patience card, or Temperance as we often know it, is kind of about self-control, compromise, moderation and virtue. And a good way of wording this card, it seems like it's often a little bit sort of static or uninspiring, but it's about you achieving your goal through patience and through determination and through your own physical stealth and your desire. So it is a card of manifesting. We can see the seed growing, but it's sort of saying to you that there's a timing factor involved with something that's going on in this first week, because we also have autumn here coming. So there's definitely something for you guys. Either it involves possibly this up here, possibly relationships, or the fact that you're ending a cycle and moving into something new. And the Temperance card is definitely about the blending of ideas and finding harmony and understanding and moderating situations and emotions and relationships. It's also about alchemical processes, like alchemy, turning something that's one thing into another. And it's healing energy as well. So it's actually quite a good card, but it's definitely very solid and it's very earthy like yourself. And funny that they're growing a seed from his palm there, or her palm. And the original card is also very earthy. It's about standing in a pool of water, 1 foot on the ground and 1 in the water. So it talks to us about balance and moderation. So I think as you move into September, you have a whole bunch of things that you could feel might topple you or shift the energy or the dynamics within your life, either within relationships or within certain areas, like specifics. It feels to me like they're in boxes, these things that are going to shift and change. And it is unsettling, I imagine, to begin with, but then you get this glimmer of insight as to how it can grow and take you forward and change direction. And then it talks to you about autumn. So for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, you're rolling into autumn very soon. So something about your timing is coming in the autumn months. It says in the fall season, everything comes together and you reap wonderful harvests of abundance. And I love the synchronicity here of this hand and this growing plant, and the next card right under also is a hand with a beautiful shining little elf on his hand. So there's a message to you about something either being handed to you, or you've got it in the hand, or it's in your hands, or hold your hands together, something along those lines. So have some patience and know that it's coming, and that timing here is the essence that's working for you. So if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, our autumn is a lot further away. We've been through autumn, so it's coming around like March of next year, so timing could be a little bit further delayed. If we come to the second week, we have the 7 of Wands, a balance, which is the Justice card, and express your individuality. So again, this is very much about saying don't give up. This is the guy that's standing up here kind of feeling like he's being buttered all the time and having to stand up for his rights and telling other people to shut up and get out of my way and don't nag at me and stop saying these things about me. And he's also got ideas, creative ideas and resources, and it feels like no one's listening, but he's on top of it. He's on the top of the pile. So if you feel as though there's been people around, and this could be at work or in relationships, and they've been not listening to you or not giving you credit, or they've been stealing your ideas or something, know that it's coming to an end and that the cycle is finishing. There's a lot in here for you guys about finishing cycles of completion that haven't been really that nice. There's definitely been something that's been a bit underhand. There's someone in your life that you really need to boot out because they're just not treating you right, or there's something in the background. You'll probably be more aware of it as time goes on. But remember that eclipses bring out the hidden agenda in life. So it's things that we often didn't realise were happening or going on, and that's what surfaces. So coming back to this, it's a card of determination and strength and not giving up. And this one, the number 11, balance, which is the Justice card, is actually a karmic card, and it's saying that karma is beginning to turn in your favour. So if someone or something has done a wrong to you, like this, on the diagonal, and this guy over here, they will they will pay it back somehow in their own life. There will be lessons that they will have to learn for their actions that they have taken that have been negative. So this is a good card in terms of legal proceedings as well. So if any of you have any legal issues you're going through, usually when this card turns up, it bodes well, and it means that you will be successful in the outcome. It also often turns up in times of family court issues, so separation and divorce, and separation of businesses as well. So it's very much about balance and rebalancing the energies and bringing back karmic favour. And down here, express your individuality, allow your true self to shine because you're awesome. So I think other people might have been, kind of saying to you, you're not that great, or you're not that important, or the things you do aren't that exciting, or right, or correct, or anything. So don't forget that your uniqueness in this world is part of the success of it. It's part of what keeps the wheels turning. So your individuality is hugely important to the success of every aspect of every day that you walk and live and grow and learn. So shine it, be it, own it is really nice, strong message again. Don't let others tell you that you're not good enough, or that you're not right. There's something in there along those lines. We come to this one and we see the Two of Pentacles, the two, which is the High Priestess, and admit your true feelings to yourself. So there's a lot down here about your inner feelings and being more truthful to yourself and being more honest as well. 2 2s and 2 7s, so they will have some significance in the month for you, and you can ponder upon whatever that is. It'll be different for all of you. But 2s again talk to us about balance. In fact, if we want to go further, that's almost 2, because it looks like, well, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Well, yeah, it does. It looks like the 2 up here, because that's 2, that looks like 2, and that's 2. So there's 3 2s, if you like. So they really are talking to you a lot about the message of the number 2, and it is about balance. So in the month, you're either going to seek more balance or you will be delivered more balance. It's one of the 2 options. But this is often talking about your finances. You can feel as though it's coming and going. You might get a lump sum come in, and then suddenly you might get a bill turn up. So make sure you budget, don't overspend. Some of you may get the offer of a job coming in. I've seen that with this card quite often. And sometimes it's about travelling away from where you live. So it could be a job in a new area. Or you might be wanting to move your business in that direction, or you might be getting some money come from a distance one way or another. It can be a small inheritance or like a windfall too. That can sometimes be the case. We come to this one. She's very much traditionally, she has the eclipses on her feet and somewhere else on her on the card. So she definitely infuses that ecliptical message, as does this one down here. You definitely are going to gain some individual personality back through this eclipse. You're going to strengthen yourself again, and that was very strong through these cards here about the Taurian strength being reignited. But this one, the intuition, is our personal inner spiritual strength and wisdom and knowledge and esoteric understandings and some sort of wisdom coming to you and initiation, and also feeling clairvoyant, feeling very activated, having synchronistic events, getting or receiving messages like that. It also talks to us about the female body, hormones, sexual activity, and possibly new relationships, or the reinvigorating of current relationships. So there's a lot in this card about your personal physical body that is connected to your spiritual body as well. It is also a sign of fertility and possible conception. And down here, we've briefly talked about it. Admit your true feelings to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Only you know what it is that you truly desire. So again, that's just reiterating what we've kind of talked about before in the reading, and about you maintaining your integrity values. And when you do that, when you sit in the seat of your soul and you follow what you know is right for you, then everything flows through and you feel freer and you feel lighter and you have less anxiety or depression, and you have less people like this in your life who can do those types of things to you. So know that it's you that finds these magical things about yourself, such as your individuality and expressing your feelings. And when you do, you empower yourself. It's like turning the cogs of a big engine. And that's what all these cards were about when I said to you, it's all about the strength and the determination and the groundwork. So we come up to this Seven of Swords, and I don't like the card myself. I often find it feels as though there is someone around who you can't trust, or who you need to be wary of. Now sometimes this can be business dealings or the selling of things. So if you are purchasing or buying or selling, just watch what you're doing and make sure any contracts that are in place are sound and worthy, and that you're dealing with above board people. Also watch out for your personal identity. This is sometimes when we see things like new cyber attacks will occur, and some people can be involved in, your personal stuff being got at. And so often when I've seen this card come out, literally it does mean a more global event takes place, and there is like a cyber attack or something that's new and unexpected and has some sort of ramifications. So it may not be so much just specifically for Taurians, it could be affect a lot of people globally, but the energy is there. It can sometimes be yourself and feeling like you're doing something underhand and not sure if you're doing the right thing, and you're thinking twice about it, and it's kind of like, uh-oh, I could get caught here, and I think if I do, I'm going to be in trouble. So if you're doing anything like that, think twice about it, and you may reassess it or reassign it or drop it altogether. And likewise, if it's someone else behaving in that manner, get rid of them. They're no good to anybody. And we come here to number 4, the authority figure, and this is the Emperor. He's often known as the Aries energy, and he can refer to an Aries person, and sometimes when he's around, he can be a new love interest. Now he's right next door to her, and she is very, quite attractive and appealing, and there's sexual chemistry. So there could literally be some new relationships for some of you, and some sort of sexual chemistry between these two people, and this might be yourself and an Aries type person or a fire sign person. Sometimes it is literally an older man that comes on the scene and there's a chemistry. It doesn't have to be one-on-one romance. It might be a chemistry too that is combustible, but it might be a business partnership or even just a really good friendship. And you just go, wow, like I'm on fire with this person. We just connect. So look out for that. That could be a fun, energizing, attractive relationship that could be appearing. And if not, you can see that he is the stealth figure of authority. He's quite dogmatic. He's quite rigid. He sets boundaries. He doesn't tolerate fools or idiots. And I feel like this is the energy, as I've said, right through this middle line, that is kind of like your inner core for the month of September. You're probably going to wash away a whole lot of surface, stuff that doesn't suit you, and you'll stand there and go, right, you're out, you're gone, that, I don't need it, get rid of that. It's like clearing the cupboards and moving all that old junk out that you no longer need, spring cleaning as such, and then you feel freer and more connected to yourself and what it is you want, and then you can move forward again. And maybe this physical exercise might even be part of all of this as well. So He can sometimes be a legal person, like a lawyer. We've seen that over here. Law, legal documents, the court. He can be similar feeling. He can also be something to do with families, and a family member that can be, rigid and setting boundaries. So for some of you, this may even relate to family matters and family issues in the month of September, that you're deciding, we've got to tie this all up, we've got to set it all straight, we've got to do something with it. So whatever it is, for each of you, it will be personal and it'll be different, but you'll connect with it somewhere along the line. So we come to the last card, and it says, get some exercise. As your body becomes stronger, you will begin to feel stronger in all ways. Wow, I hadn't even read that until this last minute. And that seems so poignant that I started off saying this is all about strength at every level for you guys. And it's the very last message I read out. And it's quite a bold card. In fact, if anything, looking across the screen, it really is the one that's giving that shot of colour, power, red energy. And that, of course, is the base chakra, and it's where we get our strength from, and it's where we get our physicality and our physical manifestations of home, money, job, career, tribe, family, people. So all of that emanates from this red base chakra energy, which of course you guys are connected to because you're an earth sign. So I think it's a promising surge of positive strength for you guys in September, after you might have been through some sort of weakening. Either other people were weakening your situation, or you allowed them to, or there were situations in the same type of scenario. So it should carry you forward with a much more promise of new beginnings, with feeling more of yourself and your individuality. So groups or other people aren't going to be tying you down and stopping you being from who you are as much. So it seemed a bit grey, the reading at the beginning, and it seemed a bit flat, but it's one of those hidden things that as we moved through it, it slowly grew in energy, and it was a slow kind of energy build. But by the time we got to the very end, kaboom! There's no stopping you Taurians. So there you are, guys. Hey, thanks for joining me. And I trust that you've really gained some positive, powerful insight from this reading. So I wish you all a wonderful September ahead. And thank you all for joining me, subbing, liking and leaving your comments. That's all wonderful. So thank you again. Have a great month. All the best. Remember to check your rising and your moon signs. And we will see you the following month. Take care. Much love. Namaste.